turn me up. Turn me up.
Activist. He brings a conservative point of view to black issues. His mission, to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project Studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, Jermain Botsio.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation with me, your gracious host, Jermain Botsio. And on today's show, as you guys know, it is Sunday, and I got the one, the only Anthony Allen, liberal demon slayer from the South. How are you doing, young man? How are you doing? Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, East
My
Tennessee, Oak Ridge, Tennessee, whatever you want to call it here. We're just a bunch of Southern boys down here, and we take our politics serious. We're just doing our thing, man. We want everyone to know is that come down south, and you'll find out why we call ourselves the Southern boys. We don't play with these liberals down here at all. We whack them every chance we get.
Absolutely. You have to. And you can see what happens if you don't stand firm on whacking these liberals. They stay messing up everything they touch, Anthony Allen. You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. You just can't. Biden, he doesn't even know what he's doing. He's reading repeat off the teleprompter. I mean, that's how crazy he is. He's not in charge. Now, a lot of folks now are speaking about Biden's cognitive ability. Anthony Allen, our good friend Tucker Carlson, did a piece on Biden's cognitive ability. It is declining very, 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 very fast. Ladies and gentlemen, please believe Speedy Gonzalez, you know that little mouse? Smarter than Biden. Mr. Magoo is smarter than Biden. Now, that's a well, I was going to say hard feat, but it's a pretty easy feat. I should really say that. It's easy to be smarter than Biden, ladies and gentlemen. It's easier. It's easier to be smarter than a Democrat. All you got to do is, open your eyes and tell the truth. That's it. It ain't that hard. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. As you guys know, the liberal media hates us. You can see these technocrats and Luciferians. You see what they're doing. Making up all sorts of stuff so that the truth can't get out there. They want the whole world LGBTQ. I kid you not. It's almost like if you're straight, there's something wrong with you. Haven't you guys noticed that? If you're not gay, if you're not doing something that's crazy, they believe there's something wrong with you. Yeah, to be normal, to be God-fearing, there's something wrong with you. So we want to make sure that we reach the people this broadcast needs to reach the most. And that is the uninformed and the retarded. So make sure you do us a very good favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share, because we about to flame. We about to flame real heavy. And trust me, you're going to really want to stay for this show. It's going to be real nice. Real nice. Mr. Allen, I'm ready to get it on. I'm ready to rumble. How about yourself, sir?
Yes, let's go ahead and knock out some of these, crazy liberals, Go ahead and knock them out, man.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you get out your knockout boots. Yeah, the ones that you drag out with the mud on them. Don't you worry. We're going to be kicking some liberal ass tonight. You better believe it. First one up here, ladies and gentlemen. First one up. I want to speak to you about a viral video with a woman that records herself getting into an argument with a police officer during a traffic stop. I want you guys to take a look at this video here. When it comes back, I want to speak about it because there's a lot of folks who act just like this woman here. And I can understand the reason why we have the predicament we do today with traffic stops and minorities, acting amok. Here we go. Make sure you share. Make sure you share.
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure that this doesn't go left. That's what I'm making sure.
What are you gonna do? What?
What is your problem? I didn't do anything to you. I would be better if somebody watches because he's getting aggressive with me and I'm scared.
You're aggressive and scared. Okay, I'm standing over here.
You're quiet now, but you were just screaming at me for no reason. I don't care. I don't care. You don't get to talk to me any kind of way because you got a badge. I don't care. He pulled out his firearm and he got mad because I told him to put it away.
Firearm because the male who was driving the car was concealing his right hand from our view.
The whole time I told them 4 times there's no weapons in this car and there's no text on this car. There's nothing to be. I told, bro, can you pull over, please? I just want to make sure I make it home alive, to my parents.
Yeah, you should really get an Oscar for the acting job that you're putting on right now.
Acting?
Relax.
You should know what's going on. It's your people.
Exactly what's going on.
Sir, stop talking to me like that.
And false statements.
I'm not making false statements. I'm saying my point of view.
Relax and sit tight.
Leave me alone. Don't talk to me. You guys, yesterday I literally seen 4 white officers attack a black dude, and I literally posted it on TikTok. This is what you go through for being black, because we weren't wearing seatbelts.
Go through for being black.
But you have a firearm out because we weren't wearing seatbelts. And he's been screaming at me the whole time, so I just hope you guys know that. A firearm. He had a gun in my face. A gun in my face. I don't want to stop recording, but I need to call my mom. I don't have another. That's sad that these people think that because they have badges, they could talk to us any kind of way. I have freedom of speech. I have my rights.
Mama, do me a favor. Step out of the car real quick. You keep your camera on. That's fine.
That man's not coming near me, right? The one that was screaming at me, he can't come near me, I swear.
Step out of the car. You don't have anything on you, right?
No, I just came from work.
Okay.
She should be arrested.
I swear he comes up to the car with his gun in my face. You know
Negroes do this way too much, wasting the officer's time. Look at this. Somebody should tell her to shut up.
9305, Officer Rivera, which I'm the arresting officer, okay?
And 5657 cell.
What a drama queen.
My goodness gracious. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you got to think about this? Black woman. Viral video. Black woman gets stopped and she decides to start recording. Instead of her to comply with the police officer, she starts acting crazy, starts trying to act like the police officers are doing the wrong thing, saying that she's scared and all sorts of other stuff. Anthony Allen, these type of black Americans, in my personal opinion, cause more trouble than what the officer is there to do. What do you think?
Yeah, this is what brainwashing looks like. This is what someone that been on the plantation for so long, they have no idea what reality is. And I also call this the Juicy Smollett effect, okay, where they make up things as they go. This officer was not being aggressive with her by any means whatsoever.
Nope.
This is a big lie. And I am also glad that she recorded this because she's putting on a charade. She should break a leg for her performance. And I think, too, that what we're dealing with has to be people who are mentally ill.
There you go.
And she is black, but she is not a black American, okay? She has a foreign accent, don't know where she's from, but even she comes over here and she picks up this brainwashing from other black people, and she behaving like the cops are trying to harm her.
Yep.
But I am very, very happy that she recorded her stupidity for all to see.
You ain't lying. Anthony Allen, you know, she was acting entitled. Shout out to whoever. I just saw that in the chat. Yeah, she was acting entitled. She was like, you know what? That officer can't talk to me any sort of way. Right. Yes, that officer can speak to you any sort of way. Yes. That is a statement from an entitled brat. Yes, the officer can speak to you any type of way. Sorry. And what happens is that, Anthony Allen, these type of folks cause a big scene when the officers come. They stop the officer from researching, investigating, seeing what the heck is going on. They stop the officer from them doing their due diligence, making sure that they, complete the traffic stop at a reasonable time and making sure that they do the right thing. She is, impeding on them with that process. And in my personal opinion, people like her need to be arrested. It becomes a point in time in your life when you got to start doing the right thing. The officer didn't say anything rude to her. The officer didn't say anything bad. It's just that she is brainwashed, just like it said. She sees other black folks acting crazy during the traffic stop and believes that, hey, well, it's because of the officers. They're the ones who are doing the bad thing. So whatever the officers do in her eyes, it is wrong. The officers can never do the right thing. And when you're dealing with folks like that, ladies and gentlemen, you're dealing with people who are dangerous. Let me tell you, dangerous. And they will do whatever it is so that they can get out of the situation they're in and blame you. That's why it's incumbent on good folks of America to start pointing out these people and making sure that they get what they deserve. And in my personal opinion, it is jail time. What do you think here, sir? Last words.
Exactly right, my friend, because people like this, they want to lull the officers into a sense of complacency. They can talk, and the officer may not be careful enough to really go through what needs to be done at that moment because this person is acting out. These officers had the presence of mind to pull their gun because the male passenger was hiding his right hand.
Yep.
That could be very, very dangerous. And now she wants to pretend as if the officers are being aggressive with her. But like we were saying, Jermain Botsio, this is the new trend in the black community. You get stopped by a cop and you just act out foolishly. You begin to act the fool.
Yep.
And this isn't the way normal people behave. This is brainwashing from the Democrat Party, brainwashing from Antifa, brainwashing from Black Lives Matter. And it all began with Barack Obama.
Thank the Lord. Absolutely. Barack Obama, and instead of him to do the right thing when he was in office, when that racial matter happened, you know what he said? Well, Trayvon could look like he could be my son. And you know what I said? I said, yeah, you would have a criminal son. You would.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? People were like, I can't believe you said that, Jermain. Yeah, he could have a criminal son like Trayvon Martin. He absolutely correct. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to two folks here. First shout out, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my girl Melinda Peace. Shout out to you. Donated, took our $5 challenge on PayPal. And I also want to give a shout out to Leanne and Jerome Glass. They donated on PayPal. Donated actually to our last show. So remember, Second Amendment exercise. Absolutely. Shout out to you guys. Absolutely. Shout out to you. Keeping the show running. Absolutely. Making sure that we can pay our bills. And I want to make sure that people understand that everything we get here, we put into the show. Making it easy for us to pay our platforming fees, internet, all the little intricate things that go into the show. So I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. And I know Anthony Allen does too, because you guys definitely do help us out. Absolutely. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button and make sure you guys share, okay? Next one up, I would like to speak about a study that a lot of folks are speaking about. And this study is about Illinois. Yeah, Illinois being the second most black homicide victims in the United States of America. Yeah, Illinois. Negroes are shooting and killing each other like crazy over there. They're saying that's the number one place to get killed by a Negro. Anthony Allen, that's something. Let me tell you. Illinois. I want to go ahead and run this one and come back. I want to speak about it. I want to know what you guys think. Here we go. Make sure you share, all right? Make sure you share.
Well, every day, gun violence shatters families and traumatizes communities. And a new study by the Violence Policy Center shows those dying as a result nationwide are overwhelmingly young black males, with Illinois second on the list. It's a major problem with devastating generational consequences. And here to talk more about it is Arnie Duncan, managing partner of Chicago Cred, a nonprofit with the mission of reducing gun violence. Good morning to you, and thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
So the study details homicide rates for 2019. The top 5 states with the highest black homicide victimization rates that year were Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Tennessee. We're pulling them up here on the screen so that people can see that for themselves. Why do you think this issue is so concentrated in the Midwest? And what's your take on Illinois being number 2?
Well, it's obviously a devastating indictment, and we have to look at both the historical root causes, whether it's disinvestment, or whether it's redlining, whether it's mass incarceration, or whether you look at the more current trends of easy availability of guns, too much retaliation, very few homicides being solved. So when you don't have justice in the criminal justice system, you have street justice. And so lots of historical causes, lots of current reasons for why we are where we are, but to state the obvious, it's beyond unacceptable. It's heartbreaking. We have to break these cycles of violence, and that's why at Chicago Credit, with our partners across the city, working directly with those primarily young men most at risk of shooting and being shot, and helping them transition from that life out of the streets.
Yeah, this issue, it's so sad, and of course, it's nothing new, as you said. I mean, if you go back decades, you're still seeing where we are today and how it led up to today. So let's look at some of the stats here that we got from this study from 2019 again here. Of the 565 homicide victims, 506 were male, 59 were female. So very lopsided there. 47 homicide victims, that's just 8%, were less than 18 years old.
Black men.
5 victims, that's 1%, were 65 years of age or older. Again, very lopsided. The average age was 29 years old. So what's your organization doing to address these problems? And what more do you think needs to be done at a community and government
and I'm going to
level
stop it right
curb
here.
The gun violence
I am going to stop it right here. So there you guys go. You guys see the nonsense? You see what's going on here, right? You see it. Out of 565 homicides, 506 male, 59 female. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Now, when you go ahead and take a look at the ranking, and they went through and showed the ranking. I want to go ahead and show you guys this once more again. Make sure you share. Number 1, Missouri. Right? Missouri. Probably St. Louis, probably number 1. Negro Central over there. Nigga Central. Missouri. 309, it's 392. Illinois, Chicago, nigga Central, right? 565. Indiana, Gary, Indiana, nigga Central. Let me tell you, 210. Wisconsin, gosh darn it, do we have to speak about nigga Central? Milwaukee, 117. In Tennessee, I ain't even going to go there because that's where my man from.
Go there, brother. Go
329.
There.
Minneapolis got to be on there somewhere. Minneapolis probably number 6. Crazy, right? Minneapolis, nigga Central. And one thing I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, all you got to do is go to the number 1 urban cities, and you'll find black folks there shooting and killing each other like the Wild Wild West. And it's nothing but black men who are doing it. Black men who are raised by their mama. This is a huge issue. And liberals don't want to speak about it. Mr. Allen, what do you think about this? Number 1, Missouri. Number 5, Tennessee. Gosh darn it. What do you think?
Yeah, this is something that we have to always talk about, particularly as conservatives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this black on black crime, this violence in the hood that the Democrats are always neglecting. But I do want to talk about who Arnie Duncan is too. I'm going to do that last. It's very interesting to find out who this man really is. Now, we know that the niece of Martin Luther King, Alveda King, she says that the most dangerous place for a black baby is inside the womb. No, she's saying that the violence begins in the womb because we know that blacks abort more babies in these urban centers that they're talking about. Sometimes they abort more babies that are being born alive. That's in the black community. That's not white people's fault. When she said that, she created a firestorm.
Mm-hmm.
A corollary to that rule that she said, the most dangerous place for a black person is outside the womb, in one of these urban centers. Inside the womb is dangerous, and outside the womb is also dangerous.
Dangerous too.
Now, these people, they start talking about some historic root causes. And they talked about redlining, disinvestment, and mass incarceration. Now, here's where the jujitsu comes in, and this is where they're going with this. After they mentioned that, they said we have some current trends, the new trends now.
Yeah.
Where are they? Too many guns, too much retaliation,
ridiculous.
too few homicides being solved, and justice and no justice in the criminal justice system and street justice. This is the Democrat Party flipping again, because redlining, disinvestment, mass incarceration, all that's out the window now. Now they're going for gun control, too many homicides not being solved, no justice. And they are the ones that caused this, right?
You can't
the
make
Democrats,
this stuff up.
they spend all their political capital doing what? Defunding the police, criminalizing the police, and now they're going back to saying that the problems are caused by what they did. They don't want to admit that. They are causing these problems by their own policies. So this is the new jujitsu of the Democrat Party. Talk about one thing and then switch it back and say, hey, guess what? It's all about guns now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who is Arnie Duncan?
Oh, I know who he is. He's part of the Obama crowd.
Exactly. For our audience out there, Arnie Duncan was the failed superintendent of Chicago schools.
There you go.
When Obama became president, he was elevated to be the Secretary of Education.
There you go.
His policies were so horrible. This is when they had Michelle Obama and her nasty lunch program.
Yep.
Okay. This is where they had the Common Core, a complete failure.
Oh, Lord.
Okay? Arnie Duncan failed then. When Obama left, where does Arnie Duncan go? He goes down to Florida. And you know this, Jermain Botsio.
Mm-hmm.
This is when they had those shootings in Florida, because they had this trying to cut down the pipeline of black students going from the schoolhouse into the jailhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Arnie Duncan was paying the departments down there, the police departments down there, not to arrest the black kids who were in school. This resulted in Trayvon Martin, of course, being killed, because during that time, had they arrested Trayvon Martin like they should have, he would not have been out there in the street to be killed.
Yep.
Also, we have the case of what's his name? Hold it 1 second. Nicholas Cruz.
Yep.
The Parkland shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Had they arrested Nicholas Cruz on numerous occasions, he would not have had the opportunity to kill all those people in the Parkland school massacre. So Arnie Duncan is the failure from Chicago to Florida. Now he's back in Chicago again. And so he's over some kind of a program. He will fail there too. These Democrats fail and screw up everything they touch from coast to coast.
Absolutely. Arnie Duncan, let me tell you something. Remember that name, ladies and gentlemen. He's another criminal.
Yes.
Criminal that ain't up to no good. He led Chicago with failed programs that really impacted a lot of students, and then he was elevated. You know what Democrats do? They elevate people who do poorly. You get what I'm saying? I guess that's what they call equality. If you do poorly, they elevate you. So he was elevated, and he did a lot more poorly nationally. So that was a big deal. So you guys remember Arnie Duncan. You guys remember it very well. Very well. This is crazy right here. It is. When you take a look at all the states too, now I don't know if they're all blue, but I think they are, Anthony Allen.
Well, Tennessee is red.
No, Tennessee red, but gosh darn it, they might as well. With all the nastiness going on. We need to get a hold of a lot of this stuff. Now, if you take a look at the how could I say, the common denominators, right? One thing I can tell you would be Section 8. If you take a look at these cities here, a lot of the property, a lot of the apartments, a lot of the duplexes, a lot of the inner city living, the dwellings, they are Section 8 approved dwellings. I want folks to understand that. So that means mama, children, no man. And if there is a man living there, more than likely he's a man who ain't worth nothing. I want the ladies to understand that. He's a guy who is probably selling drugs. He's a guy who ain't worth nothing. I want folks to understand that. So when you have a lot of these cities that are filled with baby mamas and children and thugs in the street that date baby mamas, you're going to get a lot of crime. And nobody ever speaks about this. That's why if Republicans were smart, they spoke about this nationally, and they spoke about it just like the way I did. You'll get folks behind you because they know Teresa, they know Becky, they know Bonquisha, they know Lakeisha and them and their bastard children, and they know that Lakeisha and them, Becky and them, Teresa and them have a boyfriend who's a druggie, who doesn't have a license. There's something wrong with him. And he's staying at a place that he's not supposed to stay there, because remember, if the place is Section 8 approved, that means that only the folks that are on Section 8 are supposed to be there. Ain't that right, Anthony Allen?
That's right. That's true.
Mama and children, not mama, children, and her crappy boyfriend. And I want folks to understand that's what it is nowadays. And the women know what I'm talking about. You'll be on Section 8, you'll be on government assistance, but yet you have a boyfriend who's beating you down every night, staying there selling drugs in and out of your house. So we have to be honest about this. And once we start tackling this Section 8 problem, we start holding a lot of these people accountable, then you will start seeing change. And one thing that Thomas Sowell said, he said that if you fund irresponsibility, you will never get the irresponsible to be responsible. And let me tell you something, that's exactly what we do when we fund Section 8. When we fund, Teresa baby, when we fund, Laquisha baby, Becky baby, when you start doing that, you're not, giving, how can I say, very good consequences for those type of folks. You're not leading them down what we call the responsible lane. All you're doing is making it more feasible for them to screw up again. And trust me, more than likely, they going to screw up again. Last words here, sir.
Of course they're going to screw up again. And, if you give people that kind of leeway, there's no means testing. Anyone that wants it and they have the criteria to get the Section 8 housing, they can get it. No one says, what's your background? Do you do drugs? Have you been caught stealing? Do you have a record? They don't care about that. They
don't
just
care.
House them, stack them up and house them. But, us conservatives, we do need to talk more about this crime that's in our cities, and we need to blame Democrats for it. We need to point the finger at the Democrats because they are the ones that have been going around trying to defund the police and trying to criminalize the police officers.
Yep.
So this is the result of all their bad behavior and bad policies.
Absolutely. bad behavior and bad policies. And I want to speak to the men out there who got the money, right? You're kind of like my father. My father was a very good baby boomer. Yeah, he invested in real estate. Absolutely. And he got into the Section 8 game. Remember, I told you guys this before he got out of it. He got into the Section 8 game. Him and his friend Howie, they got into this Section 8 game where they would buy properties and then get it approved by Section 8 and move the baby mamas in there. After a while, my father started seeing his properties become what we call money pits. You know what a money pit is, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you keep throwing money in there, and gosh darn it, it keep getting deeper and deeper. You start tearing out your whiskers and your hair. You don't know what the heck's going on, right? You want to run and cry. That's a money pit. And a lot of his properties became money pits because of Section 8. And I want people to understand, right? For the investor, Section 8 is lucrative because guess what? You ain't got to go and chase individuals for money. Yeah, the government pay you money and then you move on. It's automatic. You get the money every time, same time. No problem. So guess what? Investors, real estate agents, they like that. But you know what happens when you accept that? You accept the problem of the tenant. Usually the people on Section 8 ain't worth crap. Baby mama, their own family wouldn't even give them a room, but yet the government telling you to give them a room. And guess what? They come in, their bastard children mess up your house. Your blinds that you have, it look like cats have been hanging on it. Your blinds are all screwed up, right? Pretty soon you have sheets over your windows, right? The kids are, punching holes in the walls. They're putting stuff down the toilet, screwing up your drain in your sewer system. Yeah, and all that money that you think you're making is now going into the property that they're screwing up. And once you move that stupid Section 8, tenant out, you go ahead and grab another one that does that to you again. So you get deeper and deeper into the money pit. And guess what? Your properties start getting really crappy too because, the money that you were supposed to accumulate so that you can maintain the property, it's hard for you to do that because you're losing money. Yeah. So I want folks to understand the projects that you see out there that you say, you know what, those are crappy apartments. They're projects. In the beginning, they weren't like that. It's because they fell for the Section 8 trick. And once they fell for it, they couldn't maintain the property after that. It became a money pit. And I want people to understand that. Yes. That's why when I speak about Section 8, when I speak about this type of stuff, liberals don't challenge me on it because they know what I'm saying is the truth. And once you start listening to it, you start saying, gosh darn it, we got to get rid of that program. And guess what? You got to. Because back in the day, and I want folks to understand, in other countries that aren't westernized, that aren't ran by the Luciferians, you go and have a baby by Joe Blow, and he runs. Guess what? That woman most of the time won't have another baby by Joe Blow. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? In this country, because we're dumb, we will fund that type of behavior, and then she'll have another baby, making it more difficult on our social services. I want people to understand that. So that's what I want to say about that. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. All right? Yeah. You like that? You like that, don't you? Absolutely. See, people are speaking about Section 8 now. Yeah. Marty Joe says Section 8 wants you to fix stupid stuff. a squeaky floor, etc. They come and inspect your units and then tell you what needs fixing. Absolutely. Marty, how do you think I know? How do you think I know, Marty? My father
right.
used to deal with this crap all the time, and you know what he did? He stopped. He said, you know what? It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. And once he stopped, guess what? It was like he just walked into a brand new world. Absolutely. Section 8 will ruin your cities, and it will ruin your investments. Please believe it. Next one up, make sure you share. And before that, let me go ahead and give somebody a shout out here. We just got a donation. Shout out to Lowly Rider. Lowly Rider donated on our PayPal. And I also want to give a shout out to Pookie Martinez, who donated on our Rumble app as well. Shout out to y'all helping us pay our bills. Shout out to you guys.
I want to also thank Lowly Reader, for that donation. Thank you very much.
Shout out to Lola Ryder once more again for donating. Absolutely. Shout out to you. Helping us pay our bills and make sure we give you guys the content you love and deserve, all right? Next one up. I would like to speak about, and let me pull this up here. I want to speak about a judge that blocks protections for LGBTQ students and workers. The woke crowd is absolutely upset by this judge, and I want you guys to take a look at this. When it comes back, I want to speak about it. Make sure you guys share, all right? Here we go. Here we go.
We have some breaking news that could be a major setback for LGBTQ rights. A judge in Tennessee has temporarily blocked a federal directive that protects students and workers from being discriminated against based on their sexual orientation or identity. The judge's decision comes after attorney generals from 20 states sued the Biden administration in August over the directive. So for now, states are not required to provide bathrooms and showers for trans people, nor can states enact policies that prevent students from participating in sports teams that align with their gender identity. There's bound to be an appeal. We'll keep an eye out and keep you informed in all of the developments.
Bow. Ain't that sweet? Anthony Allen. So a judge blocked the LGBTQ folks and the nonsense that these people were going to bring. They blocked them. They were trying to force some of these states to have what they call LGBTQ bathrooms and all sorts of stuff. Basically segmented and given a certain designation for those folks. And the judge said, no, ain't going to happen. What do you think about this?
Yeah, this is a brilliant move by a judge in Tennessee.
Absolutely.
The Constitution does not offer protection for lifestyle choices.
There you go.
And that's what they want to do. Someone wants to act the fool. They want a constitutional right to help them do that. But let me just also interject that slavery was not a lifestyle choice, okay? And some women, when they have babies willy-nilly, that is a lifestyle choice that we just talked about. So LGBTQ, WXYZ, whatever they want to call themselves, those are lifestyle choices. And we don't have constitutional rights if someone wants to soak their underwear in gasoline and walk across a fire. You just get burnt. You did that. That's on you. So with the LGBTQ, WXYZ, QRX, what they want is to be able to do all kinds of stupid stuff.
Yep.
And, have a constitutional right to do it. We just don't do that in this country. And no one should expect, bad behavior to turn into a constitutional right. If that was the case, then they could say, you know what? I want to kill someone. I'm a killer.
Yep.
And I should have a constitutional right to kill people, or I'm a racist. So guess what? I wouldn't have the constitutional right to do anything I want to protect my right to my bad behavior. A rapist could say, "Hey, I'm a rapist. I can't help it. Give
Yep.
me
I
2
can't
women
help
to
it.
rape free for every year." And this is the kind of BS the LGBT community wants. And so this judge stopped this behavior of making people have constitutional rights because they choose to go that lifestyle. So I
Yep.
think it's a brilliant move.
It's a brilliant move, and you're absolutely correct. The Constitution doesn't protect your quote unquote lifestyle choices, whether it is a beneficial for you or it's consequential for you.
Yes.
The LGBTQ folks believe that they're victims, so that's why they think in that realm where they believe that, hey, I should get a special bathroom. I deserve to have a special car. There should be a special bank for LGBTQ folks. I mean, this is a lifestyle choice. Now, when I speak to these folks, Anthony Allen, I ask them a very simple question. Are you a human, right? And they say, yes, they're human. What were you born as? Right? And then they say, whatever, man, woman, whatever, right? And I say, there you go. You already have your rights. What other rights do you want?
Yeah.
And it comes down to it, Anthony, they want special rights.
Yes.
They've been tricked into believing that they deserve special rights because of their lifestyle choice. And I believe that is wrong. That is absolutely wrong. And these are the folks who are screwing up America with this. And what they're doing right now, Anthony Allen, is that these screwed up folks, they have screwed up politicians who are, doing their bidding as well, trying to push some stuff that ain't right at all, Anthony Allen. Not right at all. Anybody who's pushing this type of stuff, there's something wrong with them. And one thing I've seen about the Democrats don't care when it comes to exploiting people who believe that they're victims. And that's exactly what the Democrat Party is doing. They're looking for a new base, new voting base, wherever it is, wherever they can go. I want people to understand, if they can trick a small amount of people to believe that, hey, they're animals, and they can make that a voting group, they would. I want people to understand that's how evil they are. So, it just blows my mind. Last words on this here, sir.
Yeah, I want to read a comment by Joy Roan. She says, "The color of my skin cannot be changed, nor would I want it to be changed. But sexual proclivities are a choice."
There you go.
That is perfectly said. Well said, Joy. And this is what we're talking about. This idea that, women that want an abortion, they have the right to kill a baby. Okay, that's just giving women the right to murder.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what happens, they can, get pregnant, and then what? They can say, I want to kill the baby now. After 6 months, after maybe the baby is a year old or so, they want to kill the baby. No, that was a lifestyle choice that they made by, going down that road, and now they want a constitutional right to kill babies. And now these LGBTQ WXYZ people, they want a constitutional right to live that kind of a lifestyle. No, we have human rights, not behavioral rights.
Yep. Ridiculous. I'm telling you that. Ridiculous. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys share. All right, share. Please, oh please share. Next one up, I want to go ahead and speak to you about favorite big booty Latina. Here we go.
AOC, my favorite big booty Latina. I love you, AOC. You're my favorite. She wants to kill babies, but she's still beautiful. You look very beautiful in that dress. You look very sexy. Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina.
I want you to do a little selfie.
I love it. My favorite AOC. Nice to meet you, AOC. Look how sexy she looks in that dress. Woo, I love it, AOC. Hot, hot, hot like a tamale.
Hot, hot, hot like a tamale. You see that, gentlemen? You see that? And she didn't say misogynistic. Didn't say that he was being creepy or none of that, right? I want the ladies to understand that's why guys holler at women like that. Yeah. I know women out there. See, that's creepy. I can't believe guys do that to girls. Can't believe it. Let me tell you something. There have been women that hop on the pogo stick off something like that. I ain't lying. Let me go ahead and run it. AOC, my favorite big booty Latina. Her booty ain't that big. Gosh darn it. Here we go.
AOC, my favorite big booty Latina. I love you, AOC. You're my favorite. She wants to kill babies, but she's still beautiful. You look very beautiful in that dress. You look very sexy. Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina.
I want you to do a little selfie.
I love it. My
Look
favorite
at
AOC.
she give
Nice
it-
to meet you, AOC. Look how sexy she looks in that dress. Woo, I love it, AOC. Hot, hot, hot like a tamale.
Hot, hot, hot like a tamale. So, Mr. Allen, AOC, after this encounter, she had a problem. She went on Twitter and said that the guy was disgusting. And she said that what he did was wrong. But as you guys can see here in the video, she appeared to like it. She smiled. She wanted to get a selfie. She did one of these. So, Mr. Allen, what do you think about this? Is she hot, hot, hot like a tamale, or is she cold, cold, cold like like the winter? What do you think?
I think she's cold, cold, cold like the winter. But you know what? This is rich. Now I don't understand what this comedian was trying to accomplish. He seemed to try to make some kind of nexus between AOC wanting to kill babies and her big butt. I don't get that connection there, but there was something
I don't
about
get it
that
either.
he kept talking about. But no pun intended with the butt. However, AOC, she likes the attention. She really does. She really does think that conservatives want to have sex with her.
She really do believe
remember,
that too.
Maybe it was last year where she was trying to dodge the mandates, and she goes down to Florida with her boyfriend, and this guy is wearing, some kind of, crazy looking, shoes or sandals, and people started commenting about that, and that's when she came up with the idea that everybody, all conservatives particularly, want to have sex with her. So AOC, she does enjoy the attention. She wasn't angry, and she only got angry when she realized how hideous the optics were for her to smile, laugh, and hold up the two fingers. That's when she got mad, when she saw the video and said, wait a minute, those optics are just hideous. And that's when she began to come out on Twitter, saying that it was, a terrible thing this guy did. But there's one more point here that Kristen pointed out to me, that the guy that she was walking with up the steps, that guy is the beta boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? The beta boyfriend, play that video again, was walking up the steps, and when this comedian began to harass his girlfriend, he kept walking. He just kept on walking. He didn't try to defend her. He didn't come back down the steps and say, hey, don't talk like that to my, fiance.
My fiance or so.
This beta boy just kept on walking. And that shows you that, yeah, where we are in our culture is that men will not. Well, these
They want 'em to
liberal
stand
men
up.
will not stand up for their own fiance or wife or woman, however you want to say it. He kept walking.
Absolutely. The American male won't even stand up for his offspring when the woman says she about to go kill your offspring.
Yeah.
You won't even stand up for it. Some other guy hollering at your girl, saying that she got a big booty and everything. You not saying nothing at all. That is the American male that is raised by his mama. When you're raised by your mama, a lot of times that's what happens. You're gonna be doing stuff like that. It's called cuckold, being a cuckold. It's being called being a beta, and a lot of men are like this. It's weird to me, but they are. Let's go ahead and play it again. I want to show you guys the boyfriend walking up and not saying
AOC,
nothing.
my favorite big booty Latina. I love you.
Look
AOC,
at how the
my
boyfriend
favorite.
with her.
She wants to kill babies, but she's still beautiful. You look very beautiful in that dress. You
Look
very
at her.
sexy. Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina. I love it. My favorite AOC. Nice to meet you, AOC. Look how sexy she looks in that dress. Woo, I love it, AOC. Hot like a tamale.
And then what the thing is, if AOC is, about quote unquote everything she's talking about, you would see her saying, "Hey, stop that sexist talk and all that stuff like that." She's not doing that, right? She's not calling the guy, She's not saying that the guy's a brute or anything of that nature. She's liking that behavior. One thing that I've always said about liberals is that they're trying to turn interpersonal relationships between men and women against each other. They try to somehow make that type of relationship very bad. That's what liberals like to do. And as you guys can see here, if this was in liberal world, they would say that that man is a sexual harasser. How much you want to bet?
Yeah.
They would say that man is a sexual harasser, but guess what? Some of y'all, grandparents got together because the granddad was acting like that. How much you want to bet? Right. You get what I'm saying, Anthony Allen? People believe that somehow that people get together all, like how TV, shows, like they all sit down at dinner and they all eat together and all sorts of stuff like that. No. They meet in situations like this. They certainly do. And I want people to understand that. They meet in situations like this and they end up falling in love and they end up getting married. So that's what it is. Last words before we move on here, sir.
Yeah, I just like the point you were making that our, parents and grandparents, they had to say romantic things to the object of their interest. They had to rap, as we used to say. They had to be able to say something to get the lady's attention. And like you said, all that's taboo now. If you look at the songs of the 60s and 70s and the 80s, all those love songs where these guys are just talking to the woman, telling her how much he loves her and wants her, all that is taboo now, because you're not supposed to really talk like that. You have to, find some way of not being romantic these days. And that's what the liberals want. They want to criminalize normal reactions or normal interactions, normal banter between male and females.
Yep, they want to criminalize it. That's what they want to do, Anthony Allen. They want to criminalize it, and they want to make sure that, men and women have a hard time getting together. That's what they want. Liberals are very evil folks, very evil folks. Normal interactions between men and women, they want to criminalize it. Your granddaddy was probably out there doing the same thing, trying to holler at your grandmama, saying some stuff that today would probably be called sexist. Yeah. So people need to get over that. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Next one up, I want to speak to you about the liberals speaking about Herschel Walker. They're saying that Herschel Walker could be a problem for the GOP. I don't see it. I want to go ahead and run it. When it come back, I want to speak about it. Here we go.
Georgia Senate race, former football star Herschel Walker is set to face off against Senator Raphael Warnock. Many in the GOP worried about Walker's recent missteps and whether that spells trouble in a state that they desperately need to flip. CNN's Kristen Holmes has the latest.
Thank you. Thank you. In battleground Georgia, growing concerns about Herschel Walker's candidate performance amid a series of verbal stumbles. From his views on climate change.
Since we don't control the air, our good air decided to float over to China, bad air. So when China gets our good air, their bad air gotta move. So it moves over to our good air space. And now we gotta clean that back up.
To gun legislation.
Do you support new gun laws in the wake of this Texas shooting?
What I like to do is see it and everything and stuff. I like to see it and everything.
Miscues like those, plus a recent disclosure he fathered 3 children he had not spoken about publicly, sparking questions about Walker's ability to defeat Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock in one of the Republican Party's best opportunities to flip a Senate seat.
Georgia's Senate race this November is yet again probably going to be the deciding factor in control of the U.S. Senate. And with a volatile national environment for Democrats, Raphael Warnock defending his seat could end up being the decisive 50th seat for Democrats or Republicans.
It's Herschel Walker versus the truth.
Warnock's re-election campaign has aggressively questioned the GOP nominee's preparedness for office in several recent television ads.
Is Herschel Walker really ready to represent Georgia?
Hello there!
Walker's campaign now signaling a reset. This week announcing the addition of several top Republican operatives, less than 2 months after the former football star easily clinched the Republican nomination, boosted by the endorsement of former President Trump.
Herschel has been one of the greatest athletes in America, and I know he will go down also as one of the greatest senators in America.
Well, hello, Atlanta, Georgia!
But Warnock is facing his own challenges.
Some of the things that we're seeing nationally, issues with inflation and gas prices, and kind of the pessimism about the direction of Joe Biden as president, is trickling down into Georgia voters, even ones that are Democrats, even ones that may like Raphael Warnock. There's also this feeling that Joe Biden and Raphael Warnock are tied to the hip that Republicans are trying to push.
That's a message outside groups supporting Walker are reinforcing on TV.
Tell Senator Warnock to start voting against reckless spending to stop inflation.
A recent Quinnipiac poll shows while just 33% of Georgia voters approve of Biden's job performance, a significantly larger share, 49%, approve of the job Warnock is doing. Warnock also outpacing Walker in fundraising, hauling in more than $17 million during the second quarter of 2022, compared to roughly $6 million for his GOP rival. And Don, both Democrats and Republicans in the state have told us they believe this race really could go either way. And that's very clear from how the parties are spending in Georgia. We are still 4 months away from this election, and there's already been nearly $60 million going into ads in the state. Don?
Wow, and let me go ahead and stop it right here. Don Lemon looking as dumb as ever, I can tell you that. Mr. Allen, so what they're saying here, the liberal media is trying to make it look like the GOP is having some sort of trouble with, Herschel Walker. First thing they talk about is his stumble on, quote unquote, climate change.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Whoa.
Right? Nobody gives a rat's ass about climate change and,
there you go.
And the wind and whatever the heck. Nobody cares about that. And then they're talking about, well, he recently revealed that he had, 3 children that we didn't know about. Nobody care about that either. No, they do that to try to always, somehow make the black man look like he's telling a lie or something wrong with him. They did the same thing to what's his name, the pizza guy, Herman Cain. You can remember that too, right?
Oh yeah.
They did the same thing to him. I know the liberal media, y'all ain't that slick. Let me tell you, y'all ain't that slick. Trying to come out and say, oh, well, we didn't know he had a baby over here. Nobody gives a crap about that anymore. Nobody. What I believe, Anthony Allen, is that they're scared of Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker is not a wife beater, and he doesn't support abortion. And Herschel Walker is a likable guy. You put him right next to Warnock, gosh darn it, you want him to be your granddaddy. What do you think about this here, sir?
Excellent analysis. Very, very, that's exactly right. Nobody cares about Herschel Walker stumbling through some, stuff about climate change. Nobody cares about that. Herschel Walker was a young man, very, very rich, and young men make mistakes.
Yep.
Yeah, he had three children, but guess what? A lot of men in his
and he taking care of them. You don't see them crying about it.
Yeah, he's taking care of them very, very well. They don't talk about that. But you're right. CNN is a liberal network, and all this report is just a campaign ad for Warnock.
Yep.
That's all this report is. It's a campaign ad for him. Now, of course, Warnock, he has his problems too, because he's been known to be a wife beater. He has had confrontation with the police about that situation. But more succinctly, or like more something that's worse than anything that I know of, he is the pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church. And that's a church that Martin Luther King preached from. That's King's church, okay? Yeah. And he's in the pulpit with racist comments. The CNN will not talk about those racist comments he makes from that pulpit, and they will not talk about his stance on abortion, where he wants to, give women the right to murder babies. Now, they won't talk about these things, but you're right. If there is a conservative black man, these liberal racists will always go after the conservative black man and try to make him look horrible and terrible. They will not go after a liberal black man that's gay or LGBTQ, transgender, wears a dress, wants to meow like a cat,
a kitty
quack
cat,
like a duck.
Yep.
Now, all that's normal for them. But you show them a conservative black man, they go nuts.
They go nuts, and they know that this man, Herschel Walker, can win. They know that.
Yes.
They know that he's a likable guy. You can look at his face, Herschel Walker's face, and you already like him. That's how his face glows. You can look at Warnock's face, and you know that he's a criminal. I mean, it's like night and day. So that these people right now, they're doing whatever they can to try to make Herschel Walker look crazy. Oh, he has kids that we didn't know about. See, he's diagnosed with multiple identity disorder. All sorts of stuff. You guys are the crazy ones. I don't care how crazy or diagnosed crazy Herschel Walker is. And I said it on the last show. You guys are undiagnosed crazy. I'd rather go with diagnosed crazy. You get what I'm saying, Anthony Allen?
Right. Undiagnosed crazy.
Yeah, they undiagnosed crazy. He's diagnosed crazy. Let me go with him. Because at least I know he's correct in the things that he's saying. You guys aren't correct. So that's the issue here. Liberals are trying to make a narrative for Republicans. And that narrative is not working, that somehow we have an issue with Herschel Walker. No, we don't. We don't got an issue with him. Last words here,
Right.
sir.
Yeah, we don't have any issue with him at all. The latest poll shows that Warnock is up by 3 points. Okay, that means 0 statistically. They're even statistically. So yeah, but you're exactly right. Herschel Walker is likable. He's loved here in Georgia. Everybody
Yep.
knows Herschel Walker, and he will defeat this, crazy man Warnock. He will do it. It's going to be a hard fight, but Herschel is a fighter, and he's likable.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, all you got to do look at Herschel Walker's face. I mean, his face bring you a smile to your face. It make you want to smile. It brings something nice and warm. Warnock's face, no way, Jose. Warnock's face, I mean, it looked crazy already. He looked like he's grabbing a belt. That's the way his face looked. Like he's getting ready to grab a belt. No way. That's what it is, but that's the world. Now, Mr. Allen, moving forward here, I want to speak to you about Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden has been in the news. Well, he's been in the news, but he's also been on the, the back streets of the internet alley. It seems like a new video is being dropped of Hunter Biden every single day. And it's of him, weighing out crack, smoking crack, him crying on hookers' shoulders. I mean, just doing all sorts of dumb stuff. It is crazy. And this latest video got a lot of people talking. It's Hunter Biden. It looks like he is, cracked out on the beach, chasing a hooker with his pants down. I mean, you can't get more incompetent than this. Take a look. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys share. Hit that like button. We definitely going to need your help. We definitely going to need your help. Here we go. Hunter Biden cracked out on a beach with a hooker. Here we go.
She just asked if I wanted to take a walk. Oh my God. Where are you going? My pants fell off.
He said his pants fell off. Mr. Allen. So we have Hunter Biden here. You can tell it's Hunter Biden by his face. He also has the Ronald Reagan patch that he's wearing there. He says that his pants fell off in the video. He looks like he's cracked out. I mean, his eyes look crazy. Embarrassing his daddy once again. What do you think here, sir?
Yeah, there is something deeply wrong with not only Hunter Biden, but the whole Biden family.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's been some, abuse, some sexual abuse, some pedophilia going on in that family. With Joe Biden being an abuser, Hunter Biden, he behaves as if he's calling